So here are my Cornell notes for sections 1.3 and 1.4. And previous time when I've taught the class, I've done 1.5 and 1.6 at the same time. So for 1.3, the science, art, and religion, I made a note here that art is about cosmic beauty, science is about cosmic order, and religion is about cosmic purpose. For pseudoscience, I wrote down that it was fake science and it lacks evidence and has no test for wrongness. So this very much reminds me of the idea of scientific that we were talking about in previous parts of this chapter. And that was all that I really wrote down for 1.3. So in 1.4, I wrote down about science versus technology. Science is gathering knowledge, and organizing technology is like applied science. And technology can be helpful and harmful. And then I wrote down about risk assessment, which was the gray shadowed box right around section 1.4, that there are benefits of technology and it's paired with risks, and we need to weigh benefits versus risks. Risks are not always immediately apparent, and they can be different for different groups of people. However, people have a difficulty accepting zero levels of risk. And that's a huge challenge because the acceptable risk to you might be different than the acceptable risk to somebody else. And we've definitely learned a lot more about this idea of accepting risk as we've been going through the pandemic. Some people are more willing to take a risk and other people are not. And it shows that there are benefits and pros and cons to many things and many choices that we make. And being aware of some of this is an important thing and an important thing for self-evaluation. So those are the notes that I took for that section. And then if I go on and we take a look at the questions at the end of the chapter. So number 16 was asking, why are students of the arts encouraged to learn about science and science students encouraged to learn about the arts? And it's really important to know about different things in order to expand your education, not only about beliefs and attitudes and perspectives, but having some basis of understanding allows us to communicate, understand other things, and this enables us to be a better contributor to society. So number 17, must people choose between science and religion? No, they can actually work well together and even complement each other. Some extremists, though, may assert that the two are incompatible, and that's definitely an issue that we do see with some people. Number 18, psychological comfort is a benefit of having solid answers to religious questions. What benefit accompanies a position of not knowing the answer? Well, one benefit is having an open and exploring mind, because when you realize that you don't know the answer and you're okay with that, it allows you to inquire, ask questions, learn, grow, maybe experience things that other people who demand that they know exactly everything, then maybe they're wrong about some things. So it's okay to not always have all the right answers. And then number 19, clearly distinguish between science and technology. So science is gathering knowledge and organizing it, and technology puts scientific knowledge to practical use and provides the instruments scientists need to conduct their investigations. So there's only one section left in the chapter, and it's very short. I'm going to go ahead and have you read it, and after you read it, there's a couple of deeper questions at the end of the chapter. So you're going to go ahead and read section 1.6 and just add notes to your Cornell notes that you already took. You should have room on that sheet of paper, either on the front or on the back. I'm kind of doubting that many of you actually took notes that was long enough to be more than a full page front and back. So you should be able to add this 1.6 because it's only 3 short paragraphs. And then when you're done, I'd like you to answer questions 30 to 32, which are at the end of the chapter. And these questions are really kind of opinion questions. There's a little bit of support for some of the beliefs and some of the ideas that are in these questions, within the textbook that we've already read and I've already talked about. But for the most part, they are opinion questions. When you see your end of chapter test, you're actually going to get some of these questions, maybe one, maybe all, and you're going to be asked to write a complete answer to it, which is going to be a paragraph. So remember, 3 to 5 sentences. It has to be clear. It has to be well written. So take a little bit of time and care as you're reading these questions and writing the answers down. Don't just write a couple of words, because in this particular case, I'm really looking at your English and your writing and how well you're reasoning through your explanation for these questions. So that's going to be the end of this chapter, and I will explain at another time how we're going to work the end of chapter test. But this will be the last video for chapter 2. Sorry, for chapter 1.